Well, FIFA was in Vancouver this week, bringing its fair share of controversy. In front of a packed-out hall, the FIFA president produced, I think you could call it a very awkward moment, when he tried to get the Israel and Palestinian delegates to shake hands. And Gianni Infantino has become known for producing these somewhat surreal moments. So we want to play this for you.
I have very strong feelings. Today I feel gay. Today I feel disabled. Today I feel a migrant worker.
Please welcome the very first winner of the FIFA Peace Prize. A beautiful medal for you that you can wear everywhere you want to go.
Okay, so that last one there, that was the one I was initially talking about as he tried to have the two delegates there shake hands. But it was a bit of a montage of, I think, what you could call some awkward moments on the part of Gianni Infantino, and he's become known for this. So we want to talk more about it with Tim Elcombe. He is a professor of kinesiology at Wilfrid Laurier University, and he has researched sports ethics and international politics while following FIFA. So Tim, perfect guy to talk to about this. When you saw what happened on the stage in Vancouver yesterday, what did you think?
Well, I think the first thought is that seems quite embarrassing, but big picture, I think this is a perfect example of FIFA's self-perception, especially Gianni Infantino's perception of the role FIFA can have in global politics, especially peace building. And I think he truly believes that he could have Palestinian and Israeli delegates shake hands, and it would be this incredible moment of the start of a peace process. And I think he believes that that's the power of soccer and football, especially under his leadership. And so I wasn't surprised.
I mean, we certainly do hear from, big sports organizations. I'm thinking the IOC, FIFA as well, about how sport brings the world together. And it is a lovely idea, but it is maybe a little bit surface level in terms when you think about just how deeply this conflict in particular goes. Do you think that there was pre-planning when it came to that exchange?
There's been conflicting reports on this. Some have suggested that maybe this was put in place and there's going to be a photo op, but FIFA's denied it. Most people have denied it. It does actually seem to fit Gianni Infantino's character or his past history, though, is he seems to love these spontaneous grand moments that will show him to the rest of the world as the world's true global diplomat. And I think the best example of that is when he, by all accounts, unilaterally created the FIFA Peace Prize and announced it at an event where President Trump was. And everybody knew right from that moment that he was going to award this to President Trump. So it fits with his brand that, again, this idea of that he would have this photo op, especially about 30 minutes before he announced his that he was going to seek re-election as the FIFA president. It all fit, I think, within sort of, as we've seen, the long history of Gianni Infantino as president.
I mean, so let's talk about brand, because when it comes to FIFA, brand is a really important thing. He is, you say, seeking re-election next year for a fourth term. Is that the brand, do you think, that FIFA wants?
Well, that's a complicated response, because ultimately, I think there's the two sides. I mean, FIFA has always presented itself as this force for good, and that it has the potential to make the world a better place. And so that brand, I think President Infantino has certainly been pushing and selling, certainly through him as the head of that state, in effect, has been the key part. But when it comes ultimately to his re-election, there's 211 members of FIFA, of different nations, soccer nations. And for the vast majority of those soccer nations, FIFA is providing their main revenue source. And so the millions that they get for development and infrastructure is all coming from FIFA. And he's promised, especially the smaller countries, that he's going to retain that and even up that. And so he's very popular amongst the vast majority of the 211 nations that vote. So I don't think there's any doubt that he will be the head of FIFA moving forward and have that fourth term, although technically he's able to continue on because they said it's only his third.
Tim, I hate to sound cynical when it comes to the idea that, as I say, sport can bring the world together, and that because certainly there are, especially when you think about these big sporting events, and I would put the Olympics certainly in that category. There is a lot of love that comes out of them. There is a lot of really good feelings, and but where do you stand on that in terms of it is part of a brand, right? That these giant events do purport to deliver on. What are your thoughts there?
I think this is the most fascinating thing about sport, especially when we talk about the idea of mega sports, right? So the Olympics and the World Cup are the two best examples of that. Is ultimately sport brings the world together, but it creates divisions. It is war minus the guns, and it's a triumph for the human spirit. It's all those things at once, and that I think that makes it so complex and fascinating and interesting. And I think added on to that is the idea that FIFA has about its role in global politics, which is they want to suggest that they're apolitical from the standpoint that they should be able to rise above the political fray. But at the same time, if they're allowed to rise above the political fray, they can have this incredible impact on the world. And so there's so many complexities and tensions and things like that from a professional standpoint, it's, as I said, it's fascinating.
Tim Elcombe, that was a good chat. Thank you.
Thank you.